Hi, I'm Donna, and I'm 14. Before I tell you my story, please hit that like button, subscribe to the Private Diary channel, and grab your favorite ice cream. I have 3 older brothers, Nick, Mark, and Tom. They are identical triplets. It's like they came from the same classic Perfect Air Lego set. Our dad was a politician with outdated views. He acted like a dictator, and his life motto was, "Don't stand out." So my brothers didn't. They all looked boring, like many versions of our father. It was impossible to tell them apart. I was their complete opposite. I could make any adult have an existential crisis in 3 seconds. Dad was never as strict with me as he was with my brothers, probably because I was the youngest, or because I was a girl. My brothers didn't like me because I was Dad's favorite. One day, a bully picked on me at school. Nick wanted to intervene, but then my other brothers appeared and stopped him.
Let her deal with it herself.
Well, I did deal with it. I beat up that bully so badly that he became quieter than noise-canceling headphones. Life went on that way. While Dad's little clones were getting ready for future political battles, I was stealing pancakes from Mrs. Harris. Right, Mrs. Harris. That's our governess, a mix of Mary Poppins and a drill sergeant. She lived with us and raised me and my brothers. All because our mother had run away as soon as I was born. It was forbidden to even mention her in our house.
She was a lousy mother and only wanted to have fun.
I didn't remember Mom's scent or her face. One day, I decided that it would be fun to put a frog under Mrs. Harris's pillow. I crept in her room, and suddenly, I saw a photo on her table. My dad, young Mrs. Harris, and my brothers were in it. A maid I didn't recognize was standing next to them. There was also a beautiful woman next to Dad in the photo, my mom.
Donna, give it to me.
That's my mom, isn't it?
Your father forbids talking about her.
That day, I left with nothing. And Mrs. Harris made a delicious soup out of the frog. Okay, I'm just kidding. I let it go by a pond. It was Mrs. Harris's birthday. I didn't know how old she was. Judging by the number of the candles, at least 100. My dears, you're like family to me, but it's time for me to retire.
You're leaving? Who's gonna raise my children?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kingsley, but I want to rest in my old age. That was the first time I saw my brothers genuinely smile.
One less dictator.
Mrs. Harris worked one more week and started to pack. I came to say goodbye and, apologize for everything. For the frog and the firework in the toilet. I'm going to miss your energy. I want to give you the picture of your mother. I clutched the picture like it could explain why I had a hole the size of the universe in my chest. Why did Mom leave us? I came to work here when the triplets had just been born. Your parents were having a rough time. Mrs. Kingsley was very creative, but your father wanted her to be normal. He was smothering her flame. They often fought. Postpartum depression made everything worse. Mrs. Kingsley started to act strange. She couldn't tell the triplets apart, and once tried to shave numbers into their hair. I barely stopped her in time. What happened then? Your parents' relationship kept getting worse. Then your father decided that the only way to save their marriage was to have another child. Dad appeared and threw such a strict look at Mrs. Harris that she immediately stopped talking. She took her suitcase and left without finishing her story. However, I could guess how it all ended. Mom gave birth to me, but my parents' relationship did not improve, and Mom simply ran away. Soon, Dad started looking for a new governess. Right after that, my brothers barged into my room.
We need your help, Donna.
What's the catch?
There isn't one. We just want some freedom. Do you get what I mean?
I smiled. Sabotage seemed like a great way to finally get close to my brothers. You are new to this, so I'll be in charge. Naturally, Dad didn't know anything about our plan. We scared the first candidate by telling her that the previous governess had died in the house.
Right here. Poor Mrs. Harris. Her heart couldn't take all the stress of working here.
Good luck to you kids. We prepared a special performance for the second candidate. Nick acted like a dog. Tom pretended to be a robot. Meanwhile, I talked to a scary invisible friend. Albert lives under the stairs and collects nails. The poor woman hailed a taxi before our performance was even finished. Mr. Black, an ex-sergeant with an iron handshake, was next.
You will do as I say.
We gave him exactly what he asked for and bothered him with permissions for everything, even sneezing.
Can I go to the bathroom? Can I blink?
Can I scratch my nose? It only took a day of that for Mr. Black to snap and run away. After each victory, my brothers cheered each other on. But they ignored me. After all that, I still wasn't one of them. Later that evening, I went downstairs to have some cookies and saw one of my brothers. He had broken the piggy bank and was counting the money.
I hope it's enough.
What are you saving up for, Nick?
You can tell us apart? Hardly anyone can do that.
It's easy. You have kind eyes. Kinder than the others. Nick smiled, genuinely. But then, Mark and Tom walked into the kitchen, and Nick became one of them again, and I turned back into an outsider. In the morning, Dad found out that the last candidate had run away. He was pacing around the house in a frenzy. My brothers and I looked at him with innocent eyes.
I'm going on a business trip to Spain for 2 weeks. Who's going to look after you? You aren't capable of looking after yourselves.
Dad called Mrs. Harris and begged her to postpone her retirement. At first, she refused, but eventually she agreed to help. However, in the morning, before Dad's trip, it wasn't our old governess who came to our place, but her niece Hannah. She seemed to be in her early 20s, a bright outfit and a carefree attitude, a perfect mix to make Dad lose it. He immediately called Mrs. Harris.
Is this some kind of joke?
Mr. Kingsley, I'm going on a cruise, and Hannah needs a job. Besides, she's babysat before. The children survived. Don't worry, I'm a pro. Trust.
Listen here, you human disaster. I'm running late for my plane. If anything happens to my house or my children, I will launch you into space.
Dad shouted that he would video call us every day to monitor the situation, and then finally slammed the door and left. Tom and Mark immediately started to act like idiots. Idiots in love. They tried to seem grown up and flirted with Hannah. Nick took no part in that. He seemed distracted, like he was drowning in his own thoughts. I knew Nick wouldn't tell me anything, so I asked Mark and Tom to talk to him.
We can't. We need to clean up our room and do our homework.
What's wrong with them? They wanted to gain freedom so badly. All I had to do was promise to play a video game with whoever finishes their homework first. I told you, I'm a pro. Things seemed to be going well, but then one day, Nick didn't come down for breakfast. As luck would have it, Dad chose that moment to call and make sure the house was still standing. We're doing great.
Wait. Where's the third one? Nick is in the shower or jogging.
Dad didn't seem to believe us, and he said he would call again later. To be honest, I was worried too. Where's Nick? My brothers told me to shut up, so I got up and knocked on Nick's door. No reaction. I'm coming in. My brother wasn't inside. There was a note on the table. Nick said that he was running away from home and asked us not to look for him. Hannah and her lovesick puppies followed me into the room. These two aren't telling me where Nick is. I'm worried. Gloomily, I handed the note to Hannah and told her to call the police.
No. Do you have any idea what Dad would do to Hannah if he found out about this?
What do you suggest?
We'll find Nick ourselves.
Has anyone tried calling him?
I did. He turned off his phone.
Then let's search his room. There must be some clue here that will tell us where Nick might have gone. Nick's computer was password protected, so we couldn't use it. Mark and Tom wouldn't let me do anything and pushed me away.
Get out, Donna. You're just getting in the way.
They threw me out like I was a damaged vacuum cleaner. After 20 minutes, my brothers and Hannah emerged from the room. They hadn't found anything. I slipped into Nick's lair and started to look for clues myself. I made a much better detective. I found a secret pocket in a plushie. There was a notebook full of sketches of clothes inside it. My jaw hit the floor. Did Nick come up with those designs? The same Nick who wore boring suits and looked just like the other brothers? Things were getting more interesting by the minute. After that, I looked under his keyboard and found a piece of paper with an address on it. Bingo! At first, I wanted to show it all to Tom and Mark, but then I changed my mind. I didn't want to be in the way anymore. I would find Nick by myself. An orchestra of anxiety started to play in my head when I found out that the address belonged to a mental health clinic. Hi, I'm Donna Kingsley. I'm looking for my brother, Nick Kingsley.
There is a person with that last name in our database, but it can't be your brother. That patient was treated here 14 years ago.
Who was it if not Nick?
This information is confidential. Most likely it's just a coincidence and you aren't related to that patient.
Can't you tell me anything useful? Or is that not part of your job description?
Young lady? Leave before I call security.
Go ahead, call them. Another nurse suddenly took me aside and brought me water from a vending machine. I looked at her name tag. Her name was Maggie. I'm not thirsty. I need to find my brother. You won't get anywhere if you make a scene. Calm down. I took a closer look at the woman's face and realized she looked familiar. Maggie, have we met before? No, this is the first time I'm seeing you. Anyway, I need to get back to work. Discouraged, I went back to my bike, but then something in my head clicked. I pulled out the photo of my family and a shiver ran down my spine. It's her. Only much younger. So Maggie worked in our house before I was born? I was pulled out of my thoughts when I got a call. Hey, Tom.
Where are you? Now we have to cover for both Nick and you when Dad calls.
Well, you're so cool, right? You can handle it. I spent the rest of the evening waiting for Maggie by the staff entrance. When she finally came out, I got on my bike and I followed her all the way to her home. Did you follow me here? You knew my parents, and you know where Nick is. It was not a coincidence that he had the address of the clinic. It doesn't prove anything. You made that up. She hid in the house, but I didn't leave. Soon, it started to rain. I was soaked and started to sneeze. Go away. You'll get sick. I'm not moving until I find out the truth. She sighed heavily and opened the door wider, inviting me inside. Maggie covered me with a blanket, gave me hot chocolate, and told me her complicated story. I did work for Mr. and Mrs. Kingsley when I was younger. I saw how much they fought. One day, Mrs. Kingsley snapped. She wanted to take the kids and leave, but your father wouldn't let her. He told everyone his wife was insane and locked her up in a mental clinic. Everyone believed him and not her. After a while, I quit and started to work at that clinic. I talked to Mrs. Kingsley and helped her. She wasn't crazy, just unhappy. And then, 6 months later, she managed to prove she was sane. Your father was furious when he found out that she was discharged. Mrs. Kingsley had to leave. Your father promised to lock her up in the mental clinic again if she even approached his children. A lump rose in my throat. Dad was the crazy one. And Nick? What about him? He recently found some papers from the clinic in Mr. Kingsley's office and came here for answers. I helped him and gave him your mom's address. Is he with her? I want to meet Mom too. At least give me her phone number. I'm not sure. Well, all right.
Donna, what's going on?
You tell me. You ran away and abandoned us all. Abandoned me.
I'm sorry. I am. But I couldn't take it anymore. I never felt like my own person back home. And I knew Dad wouldn't let me become a designer. I found Mom and ran away as soon as I got the chance. I'm free here.
I want to be with you too. I want to go to Mom. Donna, look at you. So beautiful and strong. But the thing is, your mom...
She's behind your back.
I turned around, dumbfounded. Maggie was crying. Are you my mom? When your father decided to have another child, but his wife couldn't get pregnant, he had an affair with me. That was the last straw for Mrs. Kingsley. She tried to escape but ended up in the clinic. I realized that your father was a monster and tried to help Mrs. Kingsley. After you were born, Mr. Kingsley forbade me from approaching you. He said that I would end up in the mental hospital like his ex-wife. He's a terrifying man. I was scared. You should go home and not piss him off. She sent me away because she was afraid. But I still felt betrayed. My own mother didn't want me. I felt empty inside. When I got home, I didn't say anything to my brothers. Soon, our father returned. Now I knew he was cruel and crazy.
Where's Nick?
He ran away to Mom.
What? It's your fault, you dimwit!
Dad yelled at Hannah, and Tom and Mark didn't have the guts to stand up for her. Cowards, but I wasn't afraid. I also ran away and found my real mom. What are you going to do about that, huh?
You're just a girl. I didn't expect anything from you anyway. But Nick could have had a great future.
I finally realized why Dad was never hard on me. He didn't take me seriously. Dad was still throwing a fit when Nick, his mom, and Maggie suddenly walked into our house. Hello, dear. Surprise! Maggie and I decided to team up and take our children away from you.
I'll crush you like bugs.
No, you will not. I will come to court and testify against you. Oh, if you only knew how tired I am of keeping your dirty secrets. After retiring, I have finally decided to ease my mind. I gave Donna a photo of her real mom. Donna is smart, and I knew she would figure it out. Dad suddenly sagged. he realized that he had lost. 3 strong women and 1 little curious girl defeated him. Nick is staying with his mom and studying to become a designer. I moved in with Maggie. We're getting to know each other and catching up. Mrs. Harris and Hannah often come over with pies and the latest gossip. However, Tom and Mark chose to stay with Dad. I recently found out that he was fired for accepting bribes. And you know what? I don't care. I'm too busy building my new life, brick by brick.